That's awesome. I love this thing. There are so many different payloads for it, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey into the world of Rubber Ducky scripting and what sparked your interest?
So that's actually been it's actually been a while. So the first time I think that I saw the Rubber Ducky was probably back in like I want to say 2011, maybe or between 2010 and 2012. It's kind of hard; those years blur together a little bit. Um, but yeah, I was actually in the last. I want to say it was in the last year of being in the military, and I saw Hack 5 on YouTube. I'd kind of always messed around before, kind of messed around with either PowerShell or Batch. Um, that was something that I just always enjoyed. And seeing what he was, Darren, that is, what he was doing with the Rubber Ducky, just kind of, I don't know, like there's always that thing that happens to you when you're a kid that just like sparks this crazy interest. It was magic for me when I was really young. But it was that same feeling again, like when I did magic when I was younger. I often tell people hacking feels like digital magic. You just kind of plug in this device and it does these what people perceive to be magic on their screen, and it elicits the same reaction from them. And I've always just fed off that.
Yeah, that's true. I love that reaction as well. When you show them a specific exploit and their face goes, whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah, the feeling in your soul that you're like, oh, yeah, I know I did that. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
As one of the top creators of Rubber Ducky scripts, what would you say sets your work apart from others in this field?
I think one of the big things I think people notice right away that get complimented on is my readmes, like my documentation. So I don't want there's a decent amount of scripts that are really, really good that get submitted, but they don't exactly have the best documentation. So for someone like me who is proficient in, PowerShell and these payloads, I can look at it and determine what it does and how to use it properly. But that's not always the case for a lot of the newer people who are coming in and trying to learn. So I think one of the big things that did set me apart at the beginning and got people interested in my payloads was the fact that it was so easy to follow along, just the way that I broke them down specifically. But then I guess second to that is just the creativity behind a lot of my payloads. I do put a lot of effort into not just trying to replicate or slightly change existing payloads. For a long time, I actually didn't even look at the other payloads that were in there just because I didn't want it to shape like my thought pattern of like, how I was going to come up with payloads. So learning by yourself is a big thing. I don't want to say reference is bad, but for me, I think it was important to like shape your own start of the path, kind of get pointed in your own direction, and then you can use reference to go further down that path. So I think that was something that was big for me because, again, the readmes and creativity are probably the two big compliments that I get on my work.
I have seen your readmes and they are quite incredible. If you guys don't know, this repositories and all of his social media will be in the description below as well, of course.